Okay, we took a look here, took the covers off. Not seeing too much here that's very concerning for me. A little bit of corrosion, but you know, pull these out, clean everything, put it back together. I think we'll be fine. We'll replace all the studs as we go. And one reason for doing a lot of this stuff, as it gets older, it gets brittle, breaks. You know, without reason. For example, this here. Somehow today, I haven't been doing anything up in this area, but somehow today this rivet had decided to pop off out of nowhere. And it's a complete break. I mean, it's not as if it was an old fracture that just propagated and broke off. That rivet just decided to pop out. I have no idea why that happened. I can't even find the head of it anywhere here. So, you know, that's rather interesting that what happens to this metal. But it further reinforces the reason of why you go in, you take these studs out, and you renew them, because you know these things just as easily break off flush just like that did. Okay, there's a rivet head. It was laying about 5 feet away, so it popped off and landed right there. But you know, as you can see, there's nothing there that shows an old break. It just decided to come off at that point. So, you know, possibility these rivets hold hold that liner plate inside the smoke box, and as the rust builds up between the two plates, it puts a lot of pressure, and it may be just time for it to go. Perhaps moving the locomotive the other day, picking it up, jostling it around, you might have put a little more stress on it. So, you know, it's just something interesting to consider about restoring these old locomotives. Feels all right. There's a little bit of grooving. Doesn't feel that deep though. It's a pretty thick plate. It's 9/16. This entire boiler is built on 9/16 plate, which you know, for pretty heavy for the boiler pressure we'll be running. The boiler was designed according to the drawing for 200 psi, but somebody had scribbled above the 200 225, indicating that maybe the boiler was built for 225 psi. We're going to run at 160, so we'll have plenty of a factor of safety, even greater than original, even considering the material loss over the years from corrosion. So we should be pretty good on this boiler. Well, unfortunately, things didn't go quite as well today as I hoped. What we tried to do is see if we could get the locomotive to roll any. Took the main rods off, the side rods off, pulling on it with the come along, which is anchored to the converter building, over to a snatch block, and then over to the end of the locomotive. We actually started moving the locomotive before this thing moved, and it did move a little bit, but it slid. We pulled it and it just slid about an inch or so. So that tells me that those drivers are locked up in place. Could be something as simple as rust building up between the back end of the drivers and the axle boxes. We just have to clean that out, or the roller bearings could be shot. I don't know. Probably to solve this problem, we're going to have to take the binders off and jack the locomotive up where it sits and get those drivers out and see if we can figure it out once those are out. We'll probably get the boiler off first. We're just jacking the frame up. One problem we came into on the other side, the left front rod bearing is bearing halves are locked in place on the pin, and it looks like something had hit the pin itself, a little collar, and mushed the collar in, and now that's holding the bearings in place. There's also a crack on that collar as well, so you know, once we get that apart, we have to take a look, and don't know if it can be repaired. We may have to put a new rod pin on that side. Alright, so today I got the petticoat pipe off and some of the other items in here. There's the nozzle in pretty bad shape. That's about ready to come off. And I cleaned all of this dirt and scale and all that out of there. So now we can see the tube sheet. You can see a couple of the tubes that have completely rotted away. A little bit of metal loss there, but I'll have to check with the experts and see what they think about the condition of all this. This was pretty much today's accomplishment. Not too bad for it being 16 degrees out. Okay, it's a progress report for January 6th of 2015. We have a new member of our team. New volunteers come out today, and so we were able to get a little bit more work done. We got the 8 brackets off of the boiler for the water tank. Got those all taken off. We got the 2 steam lines run to the cylinders. Got all that removed, and you can see now we can get a good view of the front flue sheet now with those steam pipes gone and some of the other brackets. All that out of there. Let's take a good look at this tube sheet. You can see there where it's a couple of tubes already rotted away. This sheet should be a 1/2 inch. That one area there measures 0.337 thick. So we've lost a little bit of metal. We'll have to evaluate it and see whether or not that tube sheet can be reused or needs to be repaired or what. There's the exhaust pipe. These holes should not be there. All this was rotted away out of the casting, so this casting will have to be renewed. And coming over on this side here, let's see, we got those off. We got all those brackets off, and the brackets are now down here waiting to be put inside. Our next step is to remove all of these bolts and get the smoke box disconnected from the saddle, which is going to be not a lot of fun doing. They're all rotted away inside these bolts here, so we'll have to cut them off and dig them out, and it's not going to be fun. The other thing we have to do, we'll take the smokestack off. We've got a few other pieces back there that need to come off, and then the boiler is ready to go. It'll be going back up to Middlefield. Get it up to Jonas so we can get started on it pretty soon, and then we'll focus our attention on the drivers next. Figure out why they don't turn, get them out of the frame, get that stuff worked on, and then start working on the frame. The addition of the plate, to put the plates back on the rear, also put the pilot on the front. We got some other work to do on the frame, And so we're in pretty good shape for it being just, you know, still about a week. Yeah, it's been a week since the locomotives got here, and we've already got her stripped down pretty well. Okay, here's an update for this is January 16th, 2015. Update on the JNL 58 project. We have the boiler separated from the frame. All of the cylinder saddle bolts are out. The two steam pipes are gone. The exhaust nozzle's out, and we're just about ready to start on the removal of the tubes. Our biggest project over the last few days has been trying to get the drivers freed up. They're roller bearing drivers, but both drivers were completely frozen solid, and took about 4 days of heating and beating and jacking to get them to get at least this one here to spin. And now at least the back driver spins pretty easily.